Abbey. Do you guys watch Downton Abbey? Have you ever watched that? I love that. I love that. There's a movie coming out. Oh, I'm all about that. I have a client that's just like Mary. She's just classic. So every time I see Mary, I'm like, oh my God, it kills me. All right, now, so we've been working hard over the last few days to try to get them a little bit softer, to try to get them where they're coming round, where you're starting to use their back. And I think we're starting to get there. Your position has changed dramatically, and so is yours, and I'm very, very happy with that. Today we're going to do the course, but I just would like to kind of pick the course apart instead of just, yeah, let me see you do the course. Well, you can do that at the horse show. I mean, that was kind of what I had a vision of doing last night, that yeah, we're gonna really make everybody do this course and apply everything that they learned. But what I would like to do is I would like to pick apart problems that you have on course. And so I've made some of the complications that you're going to have on course, and I'd like to work with each one individually. So that way you really have a concept when you get to the show, because these are going to be just the standard, right, problems that you have. And so you really have a concept when you get to the show, when that question is asked. Yeah, I know the answer. Even if I can't do it, I know the answer. I might not be able to accomplish the answer, but I know the answer. All right? So why don't we go ahead and do a little bit more, we'll do a little more work on the flat, and then it's nice that there's only 3 of us. We'll do a little more work on the flat, and then we'll start kind of picking apart the course, okay? So let's go ahead and work today. Let's go ahead and work today because it's just the 2 of you. Let's work on an oval down here, a little closer to the stands. Yesterday with that generator, it made me realize I'm better off working kind of on this side of the ring, which is great. So work right inside the oxer and the vertical, inside the double verticals, maybe around the triple bar, close to the bleachers, and just work down in this area on the flat, okay? I think I can actually take my sweater off. Wow, beautiful morning.
I know.
Huh? What's the weatherman say?
The rain passed overnight and it's supposed to be partly cloudy today.
Oh, well, that's all right. Partly cloudy's nice. All right, so go ahead and work at the rising trot, Emily. Great. So in the beginning, Emily, because you're jumping today, you're doing more of a course, so it's just like you're at the show. So what is your goal when you're doing your flat work, Emily?
To get him bent around my leg.
Yes. Oh, thank you. You want to make sure when I'm riding the horses the day of the show in the morning, I'm trying to think about their more than their rideability. I think that's me. If I'm thinking about a horse's rideability the morning of the show, I'm in trouble. Right? I'm in trouble. Does that make sense, Emily?
Yeah.
If I haven't fixed my rideability at home or the first few days of the show, and this is the morning of the Grand Prix, and I'm still thinking that, I really have to work on getting the horse off the bridle and in front of my leg, this has not been a good week. Now, I've had weeks like that. I've had a lot of weeks like that, but none of them I enjoyed. So in general, Emily, when I'm working the day of the Grand Prix in the morning, I'm working on trying to get the horse relaxed, round, stretching its back muscles out, not too much fatigue, because the last thing I want to do is create a problem that I didn't have just before the Grand Prix. Instead, it's all about trying to make them happy and relaxed. So Julia, for example, with him, Why don't you use a little bit less outside rein, relax your elbows, and exhale a little bit more, knowing that you have time and that your goal isn't necessarily to get his head down. Your goal is to get him just to bend his body. And the same thing with you, Emily. With the pony, it's not about pulling his head down. It's about getting him to soften his body. So this is before you jump, before the big class. Get him where he's, you know, he's right now, you feel how he's just a little bit stiff through it. There you go. But then use that left leg, Emily, and make him step up a little bit. Because he looks, to me, he looks tired today. Yeah. Right? Is that fair to say? Okay, he looks tired today. Julia, walk a minute. We're just going to watch Emily. Because it's important for you to hear, so I want you to actually look at Emily's pony. Because this is, you know, as a horse person, the most important part when I try to give clinics, I'm not really a stickler on you got to get your heel down 3 inches and your thumb has to be on this angle and your knuckles have to be, right? That's not my shtick. Because I leave and in 3 days I'm not going to make a dent anyways. What I try to do, that's your trainer, right? That's your job. That's your trainer's job. What I try to do is I try to make it where you think a little bit more like a horse, yeah. and therefore become a horsewoman. And so, right off the bat, what do you see when you look at Emily's pony today, Julia?
It's sluggish.
Yeah, it's sluggish, and you see his ears, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you see that his hind end, he's just not really pushing from behind. So that tells me right away, Emily, as a horse person, all right, so my horse is kind of at the end of his physical rope. Yeah. All right. Now, if I'm at the show, Julia, then I'd say to myself, all right, I've got to get through today. I've got to get through today. But I have to get my horse more fit. Because these shows I go to are gonna be like this. And so this horse has got to be more fit. It's a challenge that I have, Emily, right now with the big gray Grand Prix horse that I have. I don't know if you've seen it, the Quirado horse, okay? With the Quirado horse, he's huge. He weighs 1,450 pounds. He's a giant. He's 18 something and he's big. And he's not a blood horse. He's not lazy, but he's not he's not Cristallo. So a horse like that is a little bit harder to get fit because he's not just automatically fit because he's not insane. So for that horse, it's a little like this pony where sometimes I have to be careful that I don't overuse them at the show. So now if your pony is a little bit lazy in the beginning and a little bit tired and a little bit stiff, then instead of thinking about strength exercise and thinking back to front, Emily, what you want to do with the pony is try to just think about, in my mind, I try to think about yoga. I try to think about yoga. I try to think about the spa. Does that make sense? Yeah. I try to think about relaxation. I try to think about getting my horse where they're physically exhausted, which is not a bad thing sometimes. And then mentally ready to learn because now they're just like, I'm not going to fight you, yeah. Right? We've just run through the desert for 60 miles. All I want is a Coke. Yeah. All I want is a little water. All right? So when you look at a horse, it's important that you evaluate their state. And when you ride them, it's important that you feel exactly what they're going on. And that helps dictate what you should be doing. Okay? All right, go ahead and go back to work. I just wanted you to kind of see what tired looks like. But look at how nice he's being. Tired's good, right? He's a perfect gentleman. He's a perfect gentleman now. Very good. Now, instead of wagging his head, in other words, left, right, I'd like to see a little bit more right leg, right rein, Emily, and try to get him where he wants to drop there and pat him. Yep, good. Remember, 1,000,000 times for 1 second, but it doesn't mean that your 1 seconds are like this, Emily. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, okay? It's ask, soften, ask, soften. Good. Now that right side, right leg, Emily. More. And when you bend him, bend his body. There. And then soften. And then soften. Good. There. Because what you're looking for, Emily, what you're able to see and what you're able to feel right now is when he gives in his neck.
Yeah.
But you're not really quite ready to feel when he gives in his body. So when you pull, and this is a little problem that you have with the bay horse. Okay, when she pulls with the chestnut, he gives with his neck, but then she softens. But she's not thinking about making him give with his body and soften. Does that make sense, Emily? You pull with your right rein, and when he does this, you soften. Because you don't think about, you're not really conscious of getting him to get him soft right here, right behind the girth, okay? Where Emily, he does this. Yeah. Then soften. That's right. That was perfect. And you feel the different reaction? All right, now he's starting, and again, ask again. Now he's there, a little more leg though, because it should be there. And don't forget that you ask and you can soften with that leg. Hey, looking good, Julia. Looking good. Does that make sense? Did you hear what I was saying to Emily? When you think about this horse softening, instead of as you get, in the beginning, Julia, yes, it's obvious when they soften their jaw because it's right in our fingertips, okay? But that's kind of basic math, which is still difficult, don't get me wrong. When you don't know it, it's still difficult. But then advanced math is that horse really softening in his rib cage, Julia? Now, so that means in order to accomplish that, you've got to use that leg and then hand. Slow it down as you do it. Leg and hand, right rein, right leg, right rein, right leg, actually right leg, right rein. There you go, and then soften. That was the first time, in my opinion, that you actually got him to soften through his body. There, you did it again, right there. Excellent. And ask again with that leg first, Julia. There you go. Now there's a different feeling. Do you feel that? Julia, that's why, go ahead and walk the two of you, because I don't want to wipe these two out. We've got a long day with just these two horses. 2 hours is a lot when there's just two, okay? Now, that is why you don't get the consistency. Emily, when you watch, Emily, I want you to come in here. We're going to watch you go a little bit. So Emily, you can see what's going on with this horse. That's why that now when you soften and you get it, it only lasts a few seconds. Yeah. Because it's false. It's pseudo-soft, okay? It's pseudo-soft. Because the horse, how's your nose today?
Better.
Yeah. It's pseudo-soft because you're only getting the head and neck. Yeah. So then you go back, but because you didn't get the body, 2 seconds later, okay? But once you start getting this horse's body, and that's what I'm going to work with you on now. Once you start getting this horse's body, what you're going to start finding is I don't have to nag him with my hands. And then when the horse gets a little bit stiff, you just turn your toe out, tap him with the spurt. He's like, oh, okay. And that's where you'll get to, where you can start softening with your leg, and then you'll just have this, 10, 15 steps where you're like, wow, this is easy, okay? So a little bit of work with your leg in the beginning means a lot less work with your hands in the end, all right? Let me see you go ahead out on the circle. So we'll just watch her for a minute. You, huh? You got a little sympathy for me. He says, you work me too hard, mister. Yes, good. All right, so right there, Julia, I want you to get your eye off of his head. And I want you to go ahead and just look where you're going, and maybe even look up and start thinking about leg. I want you to just think about your right ankle. Can you feel your right ankle? Yes. Can you feel your right ankle and on his flesh? You feel that? Yes. Okay. So I want you to use your right ankle as though it's your right hand. Does that make sense? So as he gets stiff, and take your time, don't rush this. As he gets stiff, I want you just to push him off of your right ankle. And if he doesn't listen to your right ankle, then go ahead and just turn your toe out a touch. Good, slow down your rhythm, slow down your rhythm. There you go. Exhale, relax, because that's the only way to really learn. And now little right ankle and then right rein. So pull his head a little bit towards me, and with that right ankle, and then, yep, a little bit more. Slow down your rhythm there, and then let him. Now, there, walk, because we have to talk about this for a minute. Because right there, and you just let it go past you. So I have to talk to you about that moment, because that is the pivotal moment. You know when you watch me ride and I'm riding the horse and all of a sudden they just go, boo, and you can see it in their face that it's like, okay.
To let it happen.
Yes, you have to let that happen. It looks, you know, when I get on them, I'm not forcing their head down. I'm allowing them to put their head down. They are dying to do it. So they just think you're not going to let them. And you don't want to let them because you feel like I'm going to be out of control if I do. Right at that moment, right there, you did everything just right. And he went, but you didn't, huh? And you missed it. You missed it, okay? But I just wanted to talk to you about it because those are those moments. It's the contract, right? It's, okay, did I talk to you too about the, okay. It's that contract. It's like, oh, you fulfilled your end, but then you didn't pay him, all right? Go ahead and try that again. And you're looking for those moments. In the beginning, they're fleeting. And then in the end, they're much larger. There's a much larger sweet spot later on, Julia. So slow down your rhythm though, slow down your rhythm. Take your time. There you go. Just your rhythm in your head needs to be very calm. All right, now think about that right ankle, not the right spur. So maybe even turn your toe in a little bit on the right hand side. There you go, slow down your rhythm. Get a little taller with your head. Exhale, there you go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then soften right there. Soften with your hand. Now don't take it back. Don't take your hand back. Just keep that ankle on him. Keep the ankle on him. Keep the ankle on him. If he brings his head up, you're going to touch him a little bit harder with your ankle. Bend him a little bit, just a touch, and then soften again. Soften again. There you go. Slow down your rhythm. Good boy. Beautiful. You feel that? Did you see how she did that? Okay. Now she's starting to get that softening from her ankle instead of, now slow down your rhythm. Slow down your rhythm so that he has time so he doesn't feel rushed. There, and then soften there. Soften. Like really let him go, Julia. But not with your head and shoulders, just with your hands. Remember, when I say let him go, I mean like this, look at me. Just push your hands away from your shoulders or bring your shoulders away from your hands. Any way you want to think about it. A little more right ankle, and then right there, right ankle, right rein. There you go. Beautiful. And keep your rhythm slow. Relax. Maybe pat him on the right side of the neck or the left, either way. Good. There you go. There. Don't impede him. If he wants to snuffleupagus and sniff the ground looking for truffles, you're going to let him do it. Good. Slow down your rhythm. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 with your posting. 1, 2, 1, 2. There you go. There you go. Bend him with a little right ankle, and then soften. There. There, pat him, pat him. That's right, good. Right ankle, right ankle, right ankle. Slow down your rhythm. When you use that right ankle, make sure it's your ankle though, hon, not your spur. Because you have to have leather before steel. Does that make sense? If you go straight to steel, it makes him a little nervous. You follow me? So you want to make sure that you go to the ankle first. The other thing, Julia, is as you get better with this, you'll start to get so good with your ankle that you just kiss the horse with your ankle. And it's there all the time. It's kind of like having your thumb on your phone all the time instead of having to, you know, jolt across the car to grab it. Good, a little bit more right bend. Good, slow down your rhythm. And now do you see what's starting to happen? Do you see what's starting to happen with his with his step. With his step. It's starting to slow down and get longer. And get longer. Do you feel that, Julia? His tempo is starting to get slower and longer. And that's really what, there, pat him. Yes, good boy, good boy. And tell him you love him. Tell him you love him. Very good. Good. That right ankle. Yep, good. That's perfect. And feed him, feed him, feed him. Because, yeah, how's that feel, huh?
Really good.
Really nice job. Very, very nice job. That's beautiful. Good.
It doesn't feel as frenetic.
Yes. I don't know what that means. Tell me what that means.
Frantic.
Frantic. Okay, very good. I like it because I have a pretty good vocabulary and you stumped me on that one. Excellent. Good. Look at you. Ah, you got to be proud of yourself there, huh? That's lovely. Very, very good. All right, so why don't you go ahead now, and you keep doing that, but we're going to have you go ahead and reverse and go the other way. But see if you can kind of maintain that as you change rein. So now it's left ankle, a little left bend. Get your shoulders back, slow your rhythm down. Not bad. Very, very well done. There, a little left ankle, a little bit short. I'd shorten up your left rein just a touch in the beginning. You'll be able to stretch that out, and then soften, and then soften. You missed a split second there. You felt that? Okay. Good. A little more left bend there, and then feet, yep. Watch that outside rein. You're just pretty much working on that inside and relax. Good. And as he softens, let him slow down a little bit. There you go. In other words, you're trying to reward good behavior. You're trying to reward good behavior. So as he gets soft, a little soft in his back, Julia, then the tempo has to relax and slow down. There you go. There, and then pat him. That's right. That's perfect. You see how that works? Okay. It's super simple. It's actually, it's so simple in the end that you feel like, okay, wow, I feel a little foolish. Not as foolish as I did when I didn't know what frenetic means, but.
Did I make it up?
No.
Possible.
No, that's a word, right? I'd heard it before. Very good. Look at you. Super job. Super job. Good. Good, good, good. Wow, you're riding great. Very nice. Okay, now let's go ahead and do a little bit of canter with you.
Okay.
Exhale, sit, and don't stop the riding. There, good. And that rhythm, 1, 2, 1, 2. Relax. Head, shoulders, hips. Good. Little, think about your ankle though. You've kind of gone at the canter back to hand, which I understand it's difficult. Good, but you want to keep that ankle wrapped around him. So slow down your rhythm. You've got a right below your knee, Julia, and at the bottom of your thigh, right here. You have to keep that close to your horse, and that'll help with your stability. And then try to bring your legs around your horse a little bit. Look at me. Then you can try to bring your legs around your horse a little bit. The problem when you do this is it pulls the bottom of your leg off of your horse's side. There you go. And really what you're looking for is to be able to touch that horse with your ankle bone and not make him nervous. Does that make sense? And not make him nervous. Relax, sit tall. All right, now let's go back to the trot. Let's go back to the trot and see if you can get back what you had at the trot. Slow down your rhythm. So Julia, that's pretty much, Ian always said, look, if you can't do something slow, why would you think you could do it fast? So whenever you go up a gear, slow down your rhythm, Julia. Slow down your rhythm. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. There. Take your time. Take your time. Get your heart rate back. Get your breathing back. Make sure your hands aren't locked. There you go. Pat him, pat him, pat him, because that's right. So you see, so she was struggling a little bit at the canter. So why would we want to do 50 laps at the canter when that just wasn't really working? Whether it doesn't have anything to do with applying fault. It's not her fault or his fault, it just is. It just is. So if it is, then you just, as a horse person, you say, okay, well, why don't we just let this is at the trot and see if maybe at the trot I can get that back, and then maybe I can get a couple laps at the canter, Julia. Do you follow me? So if you're doing this work that we're doing right now on your own, you have to keep that in mind. Don't feel like I can't get this at the canter, so I'm going to canter 50 laps until I get it. It just doesn't work. I used to have a student, Howie Deutsch, great guy, and I'd say, Howie, one day, go ahead and walk a minute, take a little break. One day, Howie goes out on this wonderful horse. I'm trying to remember the horse's name, Mac. And Mac did lead changes like a superstar. Howie was a great guy, director. It still is he's a great guy, good friend. The Mac missed a lead change behind in one class. And from that moment on, I couldn't turn my back. If I turned my back, Howie would be doing figure eight, figure eight, figure eight, figure eight, lead change, lead change, lead change, lead change. Ultimately, the horse would miss one lead change. And so he'd say, my horse is not doing its lead changes, and he'd go out and practice lead change, lead change, lead change. I'd have to scream at him, stop with the lead changes already. So the point is that if you're having a problem with something, don't do that. Do something that you're not having a problem with, that you can apply to the problem. Because if you just persist in the problem, you end up creating a much larger problem. Let me see you go ahead and go to the right, and then we'll work a little bit trot to canter. And then we'll work with the lazy guy. He says, I'm not lazy, I'm saving my energy. That's totally different. Totally different.
That's his favorite.
Oh. Beautiful, Julia. Slow down your rhythm a little bit and keep those elbows relaxed. You've got to breathe and relax. Don't worry about your position. Slow down your rhythm a little bit. Bend him right, bend him right, bend him right. Good. He just made a mistake. Now you slow down your tempo. 1, 2, 1, 2. A little slower. And when you sit, sit. In other words, as you're posting, that's right. Good. He's not an eggshell, you know what I'm saying? He's not an eggshell. There you go. There. Now let him go, though. Let him go down. You know, you're still a little reluctant. You're still a little reluctant to really give him what he wants. There, soften. Just leave him alone. Beautiful. Beautiful. Sometimes it's very difficult to do nothing. Huh? It's very difficult to know when to just be. It's very hard to know when to just... There, good. Now we're talking, Julie. You feel that? Now that's where I want to be the morning of the Grand Prix. That's where I want to be. I have to assume that I can slow my horse down. I have to assume that I can speed him up, or I shouldn't have entered in the Grand Prix. Or whatever the main class is, right? So the amateur classic or whatever your big class is on Sunday. There. There, so yeah, you did a beautiful job there, Julia. There, yeah, and that's fine. You can let him. He won't flip over if his nose won't get all dirty. Bend him right there. Smart, smart, good. There you go. There you go. Ah, now he's happy, right? He's happy. Pat him. Tell him that behavior is acceptable. Super. Good job. All right, now let me see you go. Don't change anything. You're just going to canter one lap, but just a little right leg, right rein, and relax and bend to the right a little bit. Good. Pat him, pat him, pat him. That's right. Look at you. Look at you. Good. There. There. There you go, Julia. Excellent. Make sure you stay relaxed. You're just going to do one lap. Good, good, very good. Excellent. I'll tell you when to stop your one lap. Very good. Good, beautiful. Beautiful job. Good. Good, now maybe go ahead and get in the light seat and see if you can do it in the light seat, half seat. Okay, keep softening, keep bending. Good, pat him, maybe lean your shoulders forward, pat him, good. That's right, excellent. And then exhale and back to the full seat. Change your rhythm, slow down your rhythm. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's right. Then back to the light seat. But keep that rhythm consistent. Maybe shorten your reins in the light seat. Good. Pat him while you're up there. That's right. Good. Then exhale, back to the full seat, but do it slowly. You know, where you sit slow. That's right. Good. And pat him, pat him. Then feed him again. Feed him a little hand again on the right hand side. There you go, Julia. Excellent. Good, good, good. Okay, now to the trot, and at the trot, just give him his head, give him his head, give him his head. Slow rhythm, there. Let him do it as low as he wants, Julia. Little right rein, just let him go the direction he wants, but let him put that nose in the dirt if he wants. There you go. Good, now you look like a pro. You look like a pro, super job. All right, let him walk. All right, pony power. Julia, beautiful job. Very good. Time to wake up. Stop snoozing. Now why don't you kind of come on over here and then we can work with Emily. So you kind of see what I'm going for. And with this pony, go ahead up to the trot. Go ahead up to the trot. And what we're looking for, well done.
Thanks.
What we're looking for with this pony is a little inside bend, not the outside bend, a little inside bend, Emily. And there you go, and use that leg, use that leg. So when you think, you just need to change a little bit, Emily, your idea of what softening is. In other words, some people just perceive softening as my horse's head is down and he's not pulling on me. So that's soft. Well, it's soft for you, but it's not soft for the horse. It's not truly soft for the horse. What you're looking for with him, Emily, is that you use that inside leg, first, and that he gets soft through your body and through his body, instead of just soft from the withers, from the withers forward. So when you're thinking about soft, I try to think with my ankle and with my leg. Is my horse soft to my leg? So when I put my left leg on, am I feeling a bloat, a puffer fish? Or am I feeling something that as I push on this side, it steps away? As I push on the right side, you felt that, right? You could feel, okay, if I put my ankle on, he kind of stepped away. That's soft. That's soft. This, that's not soft, okay? But that, I mean, it is when you're in third grade, but then when you get up into high school, it's not soft anymore. Good, 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 good. So you've got kind of third grade soft there, but keep working on high school soft, which is getting that pony